Akwantufuo radio. I put to 77 put the man on you. Akwantufuo radio. Papa smiling, awareness in my one more. Akwantufuo radio. I put to 77 put the man on you. Akwantufuo radio. Papa smiling, awareness in my one more. You know, it goes by the name Papa Smiling, and got the vibe that will make you feel irate. Tune in and stay tuned to Bamaso. It's a party the king smiling, Nana Wokwaso. Yo, on in Nanka Saturn and Web. Na Pamphone so reborn Chidom from Monday to Friday, 3 to 7 p.m. Tune into Bamaso on Akwantufuo radio. Yo, Akwantufuo radio. I put to 77 put the man on you. Akwantufuo radio. Papa smiling, awareness in my one more. Akwantufuo radio. I put to 77 put the man on you. Akwantufuo radio. Papa smiling, awareness in my one more. Yo, from here to foreign, you give us a reason to listen to radio. Papa smiling, anyabo.
Eye pamaso. Eye pamaso. Empenyisa ye suma nyansafo ne suma na montenten. Eno konfose kromo a otemu bi. Kotie be ka Papa Smiley nda bejafo atenasi. Obedwudwem omamu nsam amamu mu nsam ene nsam polo. No mercy for the cripple. Papa, dwudwem
a place where the sun and Ghanaians come together to shape the Ghana they hope for. Rising as co-creators and catalysts in making Ghana a better place for all. Oh Ghana, our home, our pride, the dream still lies deep inside. Through every hand, through every heart, the change we see begins with us. Together we rise, together we build. Oh, Bamaso, the time is now. The Ghana we hope for starts with us somehow. Hey, hey, no blame, no fear, no weight again. Let's use our voice, let's use our brain. With heart and faith, we take a stand to build this nation hand in hand. Oh, little Bill Ghana, we will do it now. We will bring the light, the people's power. Wow, wow. We will make it shine. You and I combine. Celebrate by my soul. By my soul. Yeah, the boom, you know. Oh, together we rise, together we build. Oh, by my soul. The time is now. The Ghana we hope for lives in us now. Oh, by my soul. By my soul. Where the discerning come to think, to act, and to build. Together we rise for the Ghana we dream of.
Moja na num shebu nyani to "19th of March 2026, just 1600 hours on top of the hour. Yes, a Thursday. We are here on a Reflective Thursdays edition of Bamaso. And this is the place where the discerning Ghanaians with discerning thoughts, we come just to deliberate on all possibilities with which we would rise as co-creators and catalysts in the making of a fantastic Ghana. That is all that brings us here. You see, just as it happened to me some time ago when a police officer stopped me on the motorway, trying to get my way out. I said, why is it me alone that he stopped when other people were driving so fast? He told me, hey, when we are finished with you, we go after the other ones as well. Hey, one step at a time. That's right. One step at a time. We look at the challenges that we are facing are so huge, but as every now and then we keep bringing it across. When we are able to break our challenges down into digestible units, we will certainly be able to figure out the step-by-step approach in order to fix the problems. Truth also being said, there's never been an age or a generation where there were no problems. But gradually, the ones that they will be able to fix, they did. Right? They did their bit and they left. So we too, we have to do our bit. So no matter how huge the problems may be, we don't have to just sit back, but we just have to do our bit in order to also contribute to finding solutions that are also necessary for our dear nation. And that is what brings us here. And per our understanding here too, we have realized that the Ghana we are so much concerned about, it's just we the very ones being concerned about Ghana, that's all. So it is more to do with we working on ourselves to become better versions that will produce the better Ghana. As simple as that. Better versions that won't be prone to corruption. Better version that will be very, very disciplined. Better versions as just going by Fortune's analysis, better versions that are very honest, and the rest. Now, when we build ourselves that way, then Ghana is becoming a better version also as well. Today being Thursday, Reflective Thursday, we're coming to reflect, contemplate, whichever way you want to look at it. But hey, it's Reflective Thursday. We are here to reflect on the things perhaps we have taken on the surface, things that perhaps we need to look into deeply so as to be able to get ourselves on the path of development once again. So I humbly welcome you to the Thursday's edition of Bamaso. Na machia ubia, baby ubia, ote Papa Smiley mene, sampen pensui. Ene March de tosu dunkunu afimpi mienu ne aduonu nsia na 9 so aba apa ho sima 9 ene ya wade ye friend Reflective Thursday yaba Obama so aye beto ato adwene ahwedi betumi ayo ama wo man no afa ne ntama pefra nti mse afi asamba ko aye kapa de ye betumi ayo na yenyane and papa ewu mu apie eno na ye kan ho asem kire say we consciously evoking a better version of each other. That is what we have been talking about. Hey, said any papia we are no. There is a version of you a crazy version, and there is a version of you and also a progressive version. Tiasia sa ko kasem. Ti obi a central via no ma. Na the womb and say wow we individual no. So if you are geared towards evolutionary growth, you come to realize say it is through your crazy part no and then ultimately advancing into a better version of you. When you are able to work your growth through your crazy part now, you grow and you become a better version of yourself. And it is just a responsibility that you owe to yourself. Say, you work on your crazy part. However, you say, insan si pese yakoye nimunti no ye be evoke the part that will move us into development. And if someone is unable to evoke a better part of you, and don't say obadiah and don't say development is stopped. No, it has not. Once no, ask yourself, say, hey, if I have this shortfall, what can I do to become a better version in that area? Assembly, I don't know. Actually, say growth never ends. So, as we are evoking a better version in ourselves, if for some reasons the other side of us shows it's an indication, say, Yansu ya will be wahasia, and also I was here near Yahweh. That is the bottom line. And he said, we have to do something. And in the bobo, a friend reflective Thursdays, and your friend, and until Yaba. It is out here, and he said, and answer Dr. Ebenezer Amufab Watting, and Anketia, blessed memory. America for United Kingdom, for Ghana, Germany, France, Holland, Spain, Belgium. Baby, salty and yeah, Papa smiling. Let's just say, yeah, baby, yeah, but to Akwantufuo so. Enra on questions and answers, no. Yeah, bon kakra talking about the marginal propensity to corruption. The marginal propensity to corruption. Kwame, ni entie nyumra, entie corruption nyumra. Ne yeba, yebe to asa ankomo no so bio. Ofo twuma ba, yebeba. Kwame.
It doesn't start loud. It starts small. It never looks like theft at first. Just something passed from hand to hand. A favor here, a quiet nod. A rule we bend to help us stand. We tell ourselves it's harmless now, just trying to survive the day. But every line we softly cross moves truth a little further away. We don't shout, yes, we don't say no. We just let it happen slow. It's the silence we keep, the things we don't say, the moments we look away. It's the comfort we choose when truth feels too hard and courage is costing too much to pay. It's not only the hands that steal, but the eyes that close and never feel. The silence we keep keeps corruption alive. We criticize eyes from a safe distance, pointing fingers at the high and proud, but ignore the ways we benefit when injustice works for us somehow. We call it help, we call it smart, we call it just the way things are. But every time we justify, we lower truth another bar. It's easier to stay unseen than risk becoming in between. It's the silence we keep, the deals we excuse, the fear of what we stand to lose. It's the price we avoid, the line we erase to keep our small piece in place. It's not only the ones in power, but the quiet consent every hour, the silence we keep keeps corruption alive. Maybe courage isn't shouting loud, maybe it's refusing to comply. Maybe change begins the moment we stop feeding the lie. A question asked, the truth made clear, a line redrawn. Where we stand, the system only breathes because we give it breath by hand. Let the silence break, let conscience speak, let honesty make us uneasy. If corruption lies where truth is weak, then integrity starts with me. It's not too late to choose again, to see, to speak, to try when the silence ends. Corruption fades and something better finds the light. Change begins when we speak.
I am man for bra and a vegetable. And you tea and your bahan, so our brana was here born and which are quite any very here. Young Quahoman's way on reflective days, the yammer for Chumberma, a quab of Agovi, and yet Bamazu.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Naboko,
me nana professor Samuel Gofi, me say we are Kumano. Hey, she's giving a big challenge to the big sisters a run for their money. They started an arm woman who's an arm woman who a yiki to a clip to a.
That's right, that's right.
I was impressed. And I was saying, hey, Papa. Now, only Bibia, main can't show that. I know which my main can't show. Was that there be a 1 year radio? But what's seriously now? Yes, but you are a very serious guy. Wow, another aspect of it. Say the direction, leadership, I will show man. 3 beautiful girls. I'm so me personally there. And I wish, said, we have the strength and the focus to continue. What started well on a good note. Please don't give up. Don't allow anything to distract you. Continue. Now, it will end well.
Now, what boss are same ways, you know? Say, I shouldn't be distracted. It's not just about me. You must say, what are some of the things that could get someone who are on such a course distracted? What are some of the things that could cause someone?
Yakoye nipa yi.
Mm-hmm.
Obi o hɔ a na wafa de sɛ nkwalaa no nimade nti wɔn abɛto aso. No. Na ebi baabi a no are relaxing. I see you say we are involved every day. Me can say because when I was married, bringing my children, I said no because of, in retrospect, me share me papa worried me and so at a point I said I grew up in the hands of a stepmother, and you know the consequence and punishment was necessary, and papa also me papa one go school that me cry no name baby na me trainer there. So he was interested in education, but only need time no na ye form go school. Nipa do don't me papa count. And now I was focused to say me no say me nye dear me person me better dear me papa ye biara I want to better it. To me see sure me nyine me so worry me woman. You see no. I'll do the needful, the right things. I'll be involved in the upbringing of my children. All around, especially direct. I have to show leadership. A honor medeka. A honor me who said, the enemy you are showing leadership. You are involved in the upbringing, especially in what he has said. We are saying, education is the biggest game changer. So if you can situate the girls, in a pedestrian in terms of education, that's a chance. So would be hokran and say, with that. Education and what you are building their mom, they can take care of themselves, and that is what me my yibisa. Someone said me mommy and saying your two boys and a girl. I put them, all of them. They are so independent. Girl will cry, even a girl. Their mom and you. So what notice here? The past 20-25 years, the girl child. I think globally, not only UK, Ghana, girl child education are better. They are higher achievers than the boy child. Me mommy and son girl requiano were a higher achiever than even the two brothers. And we may buy a quiano to in generally looking at the bigger picture about Ghana, girl child education is really it's a huge, it's a very interesting. Ghana had maybe Kaninani and from Manco Square. Ghana and maybe are going into corporate positions, and then the Maniama Chief Justice and the Vice President and 50 years ago, now we who sign him and girls' school, Wesley girls, 1 year a year. It's just a girl child education. There's a huge progress. And me personally, I follow that. I follow education. I believe your eye for excellence. And I may pay beautiful things. I believe in higher achievement. Taking me say, no. I want to achieve the best. That is why I demand the best for Ghana. So far, a quick digression. Policy here for Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah, nobody after the overthrow of Nkrumah, nobody has got anywhere near Nkrumah. Nkrumah was a higher achiever. One more Benignano, seriously, they are bogus. Nothing is happening. Kwame Nkrumah did better than all of them. That's why I demand. Into girl education, if you say the last 25-30 years, it's on a higher pedestal. Say, it's a boy child education. And I also work 3 girls, I'm saying, no, Papa, kakranima bofi home kolano, penino, the way, and I keep one is giving the 2 big sisters and run for their money. And I'm saying, no, Papa, please focus on them, and all 3 of them will be great and higher achievers.
You offer.
That's what I will say.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you said that. But,
and I'm happy. And I wish you well. We have the strength to focus and give them the direction. Yeah. Okay. So far, what direction? I don't want you to allow anything to distract you. Focus, give them the direction, and trust me, 3 of them will be higher. Okay. Trust me. I see that.
What I wanted to say is yes, it's not just about me, but I'm saying you are bringing in some principles or some elements in there we see focus.
Focus, yeah.
Yeah, now me the about to drive in home. Just say when you are driving, you need to keep your focus at all times. The moment you lose
Thank you.
focus, no.
Focus on between your accidents.
So it is not just about me. We just whatever we are seeking to do, no, we keep our focus, our discipline, dedication to it, and then we can get it done. Offer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So I'm saying, and right now we spoke a little bit about marginal propensity to corruption, right? Now, me can say, we will try and pick some various points to be put together. We put them together. Now, if we are deliberate on it very well, so that we will know we know how we'll be able to say you perceive corruption, the angle you perceive, so that we'll be able to deal with it properly. Now, one area we identify, which is something that perhaps. We look at it several times over the years. The relationship between low or inadequate remuneration and the marginal propensity to corruption, right? When there is low or inadequate remuneration, in what way increase the propensity to be corrupt among people? Offer, if you can just throw a little bit more light on that. But what's the question I say?
Matthias,
okay, you
low remuneration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the question is say, means so I'm trying to respond to that, but I didn't say, low remuneration. Why should it be so? That's the question. Because Nakato say, if we are seeing in any situation, there are principles. Principles, They've never stepped into any classroom to only papa school, but now they had value for. They had their principles. Say, Papa Kofi, they had principles. And now Obi Suye Juma. Now Utianika said the labor no. It encourages the person to then to give you the appropriate deliverables, the product, the end result. Now, say, who's the woman deeper for a real boy away Africa, any away dear Wabruchi. Now, what will be a Juma? No one to Yanika, Yamian output deliverables will be poor. And Tiana, at every stage in our life, whether Africa or Abuchi, there are principles, not only in politics. If we are seeing maybe our principle near the trend we are saying. So we will be here, Jumama. Now, I can try the man very lower. When Timmy Yi Nakumum, young Asante for we say, Wabomu and a better wado. And don't say, no, young Akwantufuo and I Africa for a Juma never Africa, a farming. It is a Okofa Library, Tessino, I said, is removed for. And now will be a uniska. Now, cocoa for Kumasi Abrosai baby. They all cocoa farmers. They have to use labor from Nigeria for a lot of for now more. No more a ria, no more from Ebia Trensia. Now what Bapesi man Kenny by Bordia. Now they go Bordia Habas no chin contumre, because when you could see and be more Akranti what teacher, no fear more so, and show how clear there was no guarantee. Not what did you are happy inwardly. Were you happy? What did you mean? Workers will do, Papa, or bed door every Oxford Street, Aquapim Nice Bridge. Anti low remuneration, says Hannah, question on the payment. I can't say, my examples, the best one is young Akwantufuo Asanteman, Akwantufuo. You can say, a Juane war Asanteman, a Kuyario. Wabomu, just a Diana, a Diana, the Libres, no one did me. Then you are happy. When you're happier, they give you the deliverable. They won't bet dot if you are copying, baby.
Okay.
Enti me dem adwene say em say me yi wa
no enti wo hwa oman Ghana musisi ya so na wo hwe your wage system now. When you look at how workers are being paid, people working in the security industry, people working in the working in hotels, working in restaurants, people working in just name it. Said you see market you see it here. Say average salaries no.
Make us here pa with the one here.
Let's just say when it comes to that area now, are we reducing the propensity to corruption? And I say we are increasing the propensity to corruption.
Yeah. We are so I think that the army ba na me kan. The politics are airtime pa. That is why I cannot understand when I make reference to the great thinkers. Nipa almost great for citizens, tribesmen, and idiots. And the principle is so relevant today. So today. Now I am the correct society dialo. Sa nipa mi ensa no wo. Na open fairness a hwa broti a me nu mi e ti. Ye nua no enu ma ebi wo America, ebi wo France, ebi wo UK. Ye tua obi aka. Hwe oman no mu ye fra bibi cost of living allowance. Ghana ha ebe pem na bi no ka say living allowance no. 2 cedis a day. Abram so a me fa so tie ni yo. Sa wo ko ha.
Yetio pa.
Tie pa den no kwa ka to obi ba no be ye ayi propaganda ne siko fancy na nipa bi uti ase a. Na obi a ye tua wo ka 20 cedis a day. 20 cedis a day. Na say nipa bi so te last bi ha. Na say ya found na wo ye adwuma wo Central Accra Ministry sa. Obefa trotro wo kon kwambita court high court wo me court da me car me drive say we say me car me o car sifie ba me timi drive ni wa na ma fa trotro e bi so a me pente ma ma wo betua 10 cedis in 10 cedis out into 20 na senka obi a wo ye adwuma no that means 20 cedis a day no tabe you know wo so so me be so scared man ya 600 cedis no wo din ya fa trotro clearly tie be kan credit wo nya bi ntu aduane ni wonya be high guy, wonya be tatade, wonya be tompaboa, wonya be save for his future. And in the past, wunya so what this 65 years old, some may not want more power because you're real. People don't realize it. Maybe I pass through the mail until the experience is the best teacher. And sometimes you can't be an Akwantufuo and just yet one fan say at the deal. Where I've been through, me ya kola and behave like a kola, me you know, me near maybe. We are kola, what you have been saying. Can you imagine say at my age 78 and I'm been saying, and we are saying it says and see wages are a clear panel and the map the political class both MPP and DC 1 year political campaign yeah me friend unexplained well what be am some you and to say you're governing yourself well there can electoral commission so crack the whip and question these people and so far electoral commission is not working. Nothing is working here in Ghana. But can't. And if I be per se about here, a been woman being here. Say, yeah, many partner, we should begin to question how will be to be taught. Flat screen TV, bare towns, and neighborhood more to say. Straight away, I crying. Bagana, how you boy and go so. And Oman also said, yeah, medical idiots and transfer and the doors. You accept this and you are considered the normal. Ebi ni America, ebi ni UK, ebi ni Germany, ebi ni Japan. And so Ghana had ya diedi and will be to hey, my papa, and my papa Benian, Domian, a foolish, stupid, and criminal. And Juma ye, so I can hear officially from Labor, Minister of Labor, 20 cedis a day, 20 times 30 days, and 600 cedis. Paper show from the Usi say, Ufi say. A cost of size can be to sustain any human being for 130 days. No, the answer is a definite no. I know. I'm just Anna. What say I buy? I'm at the political class. One more a DC and as I say, what two and you Ghana ha. politicians, they say there's a new breed of people be from slave queens. Maybe time me from I shall 224, near mom 2 shillings. And then you hide down one East level political class in a far more. She can't even develop a grow. One more reality, mama, and maybe Jabu D wagon. When you do one that D wagon, what you mean to as well? These are all unexplained wealth. Say, govern yourself well. Quebec begin to question
all
the
those
source
things.
of income.
Okay.
I demand more. If this is the politics in Ghana from MPP after a rubbish, I will continue to bash them because as I said, even if it's the Satan, the devil, I will clap for the Satan. Because what is Satan? Satan, but what you got a year. Say, I cannot clap for NDC, I cannot clap for MPP. What will you do, criminal organizations? There's nothing that we are doing. So now, so here, Akwantufuo radio, you're trying to community concerns. And nipa all of our communities. One year do one come here, 1 year do one road in here, coming in a Sanya Mano, a new YouTube and two call YouTube. You have to listen to live program and but you two be any sir, Muntie a double who nipa way. If Western region, I start with it. Don't just look at the bigger picture. If you'll be a media, but populism and propaganda. You do too. YouTube and Ghana web. Listen when people call me see a road. Machine you do so. You remove all the machines in the hole. And foot common sense. You don't have to go to university to learn. That's what is your use. Reduce to that. We'll be also on that she have area have a beer, that's the equipment a health hazard. And people are saying, Abano, hey, papa. Common sense, so well, that's why we catch you. You have from Ghana, wherever and call YouTube. Mina be two of me, many who foot about me fear, Bonya me pretty me fear white. I am brown. You see, and yeah, saying, I tell my West Assembly, no, MMC, you know, yeah, that's you show pictures for every reduce that if you run now. When you call any rocket science, I are doing papa now bonnie a cloud woman thinking.
Okay, all right then. Over. You are bringing in another dimension, which is
the way I hear government yourself.
This is the thing, right? That is why I always say we just have to break our problems down to digestible units. I say when we scatter the issues all around that, by the time we finish, we wouldn't have even been gotten to. I do understand you.
For 6 months, that's who breathe. Your lungs and food dust. And to wait a rocket science. It will be a West see you show to reduce the dust. Wait, quite I have common sense. You don't need to go to university to do this. Yeah, no more classing. What the prior if you need you see opportunities for. As way, will be as one you as you are buying. Yeah, will be buying papa. About papa now, woman, yeah, breathing dusty. Master, this stupidity.
All right, Offer. Thank you very much. Yo, it's here for Bama Suju Media na Uti, you know. Say, we started off something talking about marginal propensity to corruption. Na as always, no, men kind of say, yeah, na mintimintinamu all the way. I said, say a few bits that I put together, no, over time, you know, you can watch them, Marco. Na na buy na me dey pin wofa say or share low or inadequate remuneration ye dey ma ye ho ewo o my Ghana mu in what way and increase the propensity to corruption among the rest. Na no kwase be woman say and I cited several examples, especially for those who even work in the financial sector. No question, a woman is financial pressures can strongly influence one's ethical decisions. It can certainly do that. Now, when individuals work in positions of responsibility, but they realize that they receive salaries that barely cover basic living costs, it gets them frustrated, and desperation will certainly set in as well. Now, a poorly paid official or handle financial transactions, over time, nobody so he may justify small unofficial payments as compensations for their effort. Now, as it carries on over time, you realize that there will the line between survival and greed. Nobody say that line between survival and greed is no more there, and that is one of the things it happens when then some culture say when our politicians get into politics with seeds of corruption in them. They have the way you don't need a brainer to know this. When someone has seeds of corruption, a card and name know the real politics more, they would want to find a way to clear that debt. Now, as they carry on clearing that debt, won't say that thin line, swung like it will be the moon to clear the debt and then step into greed. Won't say be that cry. Sanka because any almost take a year and go munyai. Debbie. By the time I take a that's our line, a clear ne cry. So, what we are saying and say, low remuneration is not an excuse. It's not an excuse for someone to be corrupt. But the AOC when they say it increases the vulnerability of individuals who feel say their legitimate earnings do not match the responsibilities that they carry. That is the truth. And it is not everybody that will say, okay, I will stand by my principles, and then even though I am not being adequately remunerated for my effort, I'll still hold on to my principles. It's not everybody. What I say, it is not everybody who will do that, who will be able to do that. Some may fall. Hey, say Adam, some ujina the principles mu anke de apple no bread nko anye ndi meboa nye obi a na betimi enti ye nyina ye boaboa ye ho na ye hwes kwan ye betimi afko corruption no so ene na ye ya na chese ye nso ye hu kwan ye befa ene ye hu nso adili. Now one of the questions and also ba me team one of I was sharing his point eye edi enti na emma ye ntumi enye de bai entua adwumayefo ka ewo mamu adequately. All the time na akwa say they are fighting to survive. Edi enti na man basa. Edi enti ene man basa. Wohwe ade be ne nneema benti so ofa keka bia kakra ewo ho, right? Edi benti because say tube na say pipe na sika nam aba ma bedru average Ghanaians ne so no say enkrofo bi gina ano ho ba bi na omo tutu tokuro wo ho a emma sika dodo na ntimi mma resources na dodo na ntimi mfa pipe no mu emedru ase ho nom na amanfo nso watimi enjoy. Now think of it this way. I know say they aka no moboka, but to what extent Anna some of the flaws, excesses are also in amemu mu no efesika sem ho no, to what extent Anna see it see no kwan a betimi aboa ame etimi atua adwumayefo ka quite adequately. Dwene ho sa yengotie bombardier kakra bombardier nso nka bi bombardier akrache sa woteme nka ene ebre na yankasa kakra before I move on to Ora Joseph Abe. Bombardier woteme nka bama so
adwen kase na pome
nyame adom boko so ho ye de
ani
good one there you ene ya shase nti also kabi of our boy nkomo kakra. We wanted to establish the connection between low or inadequate remuneration and the propensity to corruption. Nti also boy nkomo odi ni eti
yo medase yebechia etiefo nyina buti Akwantufuo radio ena enyo no mo Shalom South America or Uruguay ena enyo penny kwabena agreement on so tie free Hamburg or Germany or hima Monday and Obibia and the Menuanuma or Munyamba in say in the course no or Mubeba. Eti then Yakupas say and then so a year the 19th no Bosomino kwa na the echo ti Ebeka Crown so na Yukura April resolution ni nyinaa no so say ebi nso ehwe take it probably say topic dey say your bro so be say and so we say you hu you share from low wage na bibisa na ye dey koyi ni papa o say you say you can say here one enu just ko wi ade free wase wo so hu enti say waketwe isu a enu che say kobokro no ana say koye corruption waketwe isu a say ukupa adwuma ema say former adwuma na okupa ye were entry level position wo position bia ewo bia no ya kire ho sika ye de bema wo enye sa ye wo aketria it comes with other French benefits say bia okoye ye a ye member we e bia experience utremu cha ebi wo adwuma bo say bia ye be de dollar beka ho no every year bia na ebetumi bia 25 cents into the 4 years na be just $1 no so hu enti obohu say bia obi o CEO oji be bia $500,000 a year near sama no other bonuses na bia wo a we entry level do we ni brisa de na CEO no because position at ho na wan ka so ye de ko chuzu ye enti sa we human resource manager omo na ehwe employees no so omo na employ and sa wo finances say wo complaints about your salary a ye ko wi ade na mum no wo cost structures na wo ho no say bia baketwa no sisi no represent ka bia yentum na se company no nso ewo bibi ka because wo ka bia ebetuma tum say na say so mo kana se won tia say no ase dey wako obe bia opesa woko papa minimum wage na ho no enye no ni wage a ye de bobra tini o minimum wage na ho no enye no ni wage a ye de bobra say eno na say di twa woka na emom esan say employer ye do say enye ni penyina wugya so say what matter say enipa no mo nsiabo so wan hwe ya employer bi ho a obetwa de opa bia so as ye so wugya employers bi de bu ha obetwa kra abro de ekoso so wutwa eti wiase nyina International Labour Organization no na hihye saa no nyina so say timnya bibi efe minimum wage na UN funds de omo so de ka ho na state wise no country bian so ewo ne mra se ne obehye emra efa wages so a eno na the base level of payment a employer betumi tua ti akwai say ye wo baseline no so that say papa so on de me pesa me kire no
yetio koso
say wo bo Premier League say English Premier League Ghana Premier League ye wo the number of points ABS wunya obetuma bo top 4 and na say wunya na say wo call relegation no enti no ade a wo ye employer bia wo hwe saa yi no saa minimum wage no say na cut off point no enti say daily minimum wage no 5 cities let's say eno na aban establish a yaja tuma untimi ntwa obi ka below 5 cities no akọ from kra ye 5 in say the minimum wage no the wage no the so lawful tin you enye de private company bi ahihya to ana say bibisa de aban ahihya to so obi edi so we private o we public o wudi saa de ne so enti untimi ntwa below that so that's here that's the base it is a daily minimum wage no about certain as 5 cities na even say 30 days nyina we adwuma no say whole Saturday and Sunday nyina even say twa nya car this is a 5 say 150 cities that's the minimum employee be able to matwa wo by no just say wo kopa adwuma na wo say 150 cities ni e de ye mpatwa wo ka So that's it. That's the base into show qualification. ABA who a bachelor's degree. What's the value of that bachelor's degree? No. Who a master's degree? What is the value of that master's degree? Then who PhD. So that's it. It will be say minimum wage near 150 bosome, but OBJ ABA 3,000 cities. I didn't enter 150 cities. No. Yes. So many things in the womb. Eti employer no so no or show 150 now or social qualifications. And to say advertise there, you see yes experience, maybe 10 years experience, 5 years experience in the sound experience in a value. So that's it. You go cry you pay young people, no concern young people no so even football crying athletics no. Athletes are more young no. Say Nike money, Fela money, Adidas mo sign no more or mom ska kese pa cause almost say long term no. They'll be promoting the brand since be when you need you say be over retirement you know and was a value no it will share ye juma for or mom 10 years near say be accumulated leave no okwa wo maybe so ntini nyina ka ho enti no papa say low wage no say no nti wo see e ma wa ke 20 uko ene kope bibi foforo ye ana ye ka ho and that's je adwuma no because say ye justify say
Bombardie
labor laws no
okay
obi catch na okra wa no so okofele o forms ni adada
Bombardie timenga
metonka
on say said me kind na me can say low remuneration a justification for someone to be corrupt, but and common we are talking about the marginal propensity to corruption. And I say, because to Bombardie, say Ujina right? You may say you are a very faithful man to your wife, among other things. But when we put you in certain circumstances, your faithfulness no betones you. Just say, yet wako shed muna or baby did na so kama no the idea chuchu no the idea be chuchu, right? Why we are faithfulness no betones you. And we are just addressing that propensity no, the things that increases the propensity to be corrupt no. And Yanka said people should not be ambitious. People should certainly be ambitious. However, we know say we can do we need cleanliness in the society? Yes, of course we need cleanliness in the society. Do we need watchmen in the security in the society? Of course we need watchmen in the society. Now, me hear movie beyond. I think it was put together in America. Na Abranti no ye adwuma or ye cashier or some or ye adwuma hotel or one of your supermarkets. Na obi beto materials materials no wabeto na e kire se wo de kwa akoye eye bomb enti akwa ne beto ye de akoye bomb no de edi nsemone enti wo ye investigations na wo ba shop ho no mbusa ne se na akwa ne toto sa ne ma no wanhu ana akwa na wo mbusa ne question and say what happened to when you see something, say something, and and Abranti and Ubusa said for 18 bucks an hour. I see something, I say something. Ediana Usuan free. Sasam na Abranti and a kind. Was say for $18 an hour. Or I say he feels to say he's not being adequately rewarded for some reasons. Rather, what I say, and say you expect more from him. But you are not giving him not adequate enough to be able to do the job properly. And when we talk about these things, I know said there may be a 10 line in between, but it is something it happens in our part of the world so much. Someone may spend so many hours in a particular place to work in a day. After that, he may not be able to go elsewhere to do anything. In as much as gradually, no. Say we are not stopping people from being ambitious, no. Whatever role will be a pay, no. There should be a humanly adequate remuneration even if that person does not decide to say he is going to be a more ambitious, I bit make so sahasika way there a bit no just to break balance, and I say break even in whatever that they are doing. That is what we are saying. And in can say say entria okay a reason for you to be corrupt. But we are trying to figure out how we'll be able to reduce the propensity to corruption in our society. Wamadi, Twaso, why?
Okay, you that's it. Say you say reducing, and we can say we need honest people. Papa, I know say because a increase in a low wage, it can be a correlation to corruption here that day. And nothing I say we human resource into background checks in this money na. And yes, our system, yes, of course, because say the cry I incorporate that the people are Ukrainians and only magicians. They say, obviously the cost of living is almost like New York, and so we should be a ketria now. We should normal cost na then omutimi some of their basic amenities, national mutim living, and I just say bibia be muti and a bibi yeah this kabia be fra and no baby mu. 18 it's a sanitary there. I want to wonder say if should we increase wages to even a level acceptable. Said if you use acceptable now, will you also cause corruption to go down? Me, I think say yes, it could be possible, but any people who are enough is not enough. Obuwa ni so when you some baseline be 5,000 everyone na cause say a cause corruption trend But where we are from, once I open the Pandora box na any open more as a Ulubatwist no open more. But we can also set up a Obeka said that closer for once say closer for no omne civil society for no and as a civil workers no omne careerists diplomats are more the various ministry of say directors omne omako school almost certificate. Memory so many neutral. I want to say the typical public servant say be a minister of state or not the government appointee and as a political appointed no. And to closer for no say woman a year Germany na the minister for education bench or business and normal now for political say the any man but chief directors in call for no civil for workers woman a year Germany na. But all the same time I just say they are also in charge of productivity. So they are also in charge of productivity. But here's the case sometimes we copy BB no civil servant who ni ho. Okoye no ankasa no normal. And the pay structure it's also linked to productivity. Say bia your productivity na higher. Ebema services also akọ high for service don't mutua eto. Omutua mo tax na ade no. Revenue na be ma Ghana Revenue Authority na declare say bia say 1 billion kwana o mani nya bia 10 billion. And to say sectors be banners or so be see to akatwem na yeyi na easy so bitmatum. But here's the case you lose productivity. We have so many public holidays. Since year NCBI you be ED fatal and Eastern should be boom. You be lose so many hours man hours working hours be brave. So that's here. Ain't you can have the correlation say the major proposition for somebody corrupt say low wage so could be a factor, but I'm not sure say without honest people how much and will be enough say in the ye kasi tum krana missing minimum wage in the yes you can also say be a Sunday but to dona at least above 150 cities no baby so 150 no since you say the minimum wage you man say ever say be 100 cities a day. Now multiply by 100 by 30, necessarily 3,000. That's the minimum. And just say some can say that's the minimum. Say with other factors, Becky Kahun say many per 5,000. Obejai chronobo, obejai corruption. Because here's the case, you will say you were MPs, you were presidents, your ministers are your council of state president waje 44,000 a month to yes a council of state for no omoji be 15,000 MP give be 12,000 but more other so many benefits are omunche light bill omunche water bill it whatever money they receiving is almost like a gross it's almost like a whatever they receive a gross so that's here yente tax yente no me be free munti no omuji anano no so what Ghana na say you more 10,000 no ncha water bill any light bill we okay since we be ucha ye man 10,000 na be ucha light bill water bill any some other things any school fees no man enti yeah part of the a very dicey it all starting and kuma hu here we see GIMPA no Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration no say answer no nipa bit my year adwuma no or say didn't go training near channel the do's and don'ts of a worker what me you're honest so that's a no maybe who honest in this say so what when I say waketwe nso so a ye ka ho asem so into say yeah Minister of Employment and Labor Relations they have to come up with a modality say every research that only who say the margin proposal for corruption no a year low wage so a year factor there the what's the way out say na yen set minimum wage no say you push line cost ra na for the top ups be a becano no will it be enough a bit mama sa de na cost na and say onipa na dwen na yema no say e de pedie no enya de a ye because any people me say I say if we church no o manage and say the ya osisla na if no enye mada enti no o say etimi hwe media to me no say corruption be cause we need mental reconstruction say there and some people say mental reconstruction ye ni na say a productive no higher ebe ma ban enya revenue kese so that's here because obe Kumasi wa ministries na wo compare a document bi wa ko KMA na ni bakono to no also be dwuma 9 wa ba dwuma 8 also be dwuma 8 wa ba dwuma 9 crowd dey say wo de nyame ase 10 obeba obeye dwuma 2 hours a enya mbo lunch kwa no wo hwim ono akopɛ na dwuma eye bia UTC anase okoye no pampas wa anase okobodi anase donkek ekoye dwuma ho ono na dwuma private to obeba na wo da so ti wo
okay all right baba de minim sa obekai sa asem we a ebze omampani dada Akufo ka asem bi or say the workers we pretend to be paying the workers
pretend to work and we also pretend to pay them.
Paying them. Okay, and you can also look at it from all directions. But the reason for some commodity na say was the question that we posed looking at all the factors are increasing the marginal propensity to corruption. And we are looking at all possible avenues. And we are just looking at just one avenue, one channel. There are several. And in as much as I can say, the workers they don't put up enough effort and no. Yes, I know one thing. So the worker, if they increase their productivity, it will also increase revenue coming in for government to also pay them. What I say, but I don't say that is the only way the government can also get revenue to pay them. You may also know say there is enough productivity in some places, but still they are not being paid well, and also a possibility. So we look at it from all angles. So we'll be able to get a much detail. Fabes and meet me and say now we are my Joseph. Akwab mame, wati ma Joseph akwab mame. Why?
You may we and sadia. You call Abbey ho. Abbey Bamaso.
No, French. Nanka me busha me can't send back. So I'm reading what don't worry. I'm only asking. Say if I'm real, I'm reading what they call.
Okay, can say after the shares indeed.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Dear, not me can say Papa can be said or my penny which will be for gay for. What can be said the Ghana worker pretends to work and the government pretends to pay them. Me Sasam no many hold that extra the incompetence of how corrupt the impending foreign in our so What can I say? There must be supervision. Again, I'm going down to my philosophy of principles, control measures. If the controls are there, the Ghanaian worker cannot pretend to be working. Moment Akwantufuo said Ghanaian worker is pretending to work, tells me straight away that there are no controls. Nobody is supervising them. That shows indiscipline from the top to the bottom. And we are not, again, we are still not governing ourselves well. Baby, our United States, there are controls at every level of our life. Who train bus? There are control. Who cross red line? You are punished. There are controls. Who mean you open America? Me you UK. But Ghana, the president Akwantufuo was a Ghanaian worker pretends to be working. That is indiscipline coming from a leader. A leader supposed to show direction and control. And he hasn't got the leadership capacity. He didn't work on this. You know, me person make on why. And she obey me to us.
Me agree there. Because that statement, true. So, okay, society, the say or enforce laziness. Send what
yes, what your leader?
To send
said that when you leader, he's not the leader when he said that.
And you know, who the whole employee, the open, yes, you employer, yes, you be
there. There's no leadership. It's in a grown. I say, I'm a prince, sometimes we banter. We are still not governing ourselves well. I get annoyed when people say about Papa, but there's nothing working well in this country today. Nothing. Nothing is working. Because the same Kufoka 20 years ago, and one also will be open. We what take Connecticut, can open? There are controls every step of the way. Maybe tell the ability to speak. What mean you open? There are controls, leadership, direction. Government, so MPP and there's no direction, there's no leadership. I don't see the man who say, yeah, me quite anymore. In football, we patrol, and your common sense, yeah, in sure pity so. We patrol. I look at common sense will be a minister as well, yes, I did. And you can go just to water the road, tanker. I'm a Taba West Assembly, your will be chief executive. When Nimias said, Yabama is sure to reduce the dust. I am so basic. And when you people say about Papa, I get annoyed. When dust is coming into my nose.
You and a jachum a submission or their vanity. I'll be Bamaso.
I drink a say.
How are you?
Well, we're there inside. It's the weather is pretending it's going or it's coming. So we are
you are also pretending to be coming.
Well, we are trying to fight it.
I hear it's cold.
Yeah, we are here. I don't know. During the day it's nice. And when the weather is changing, normally it's colder indoors than outside. Yesterday, I went to work, so I didn't feel the cold. But today, I've not stepped outside, so probably that is why, because it's colder inside than outside. But otherwise,
your company is they're still doing the in-person, out-person thing.
I'm supposed to go in a few days, depending on I've got some committee meetings and so on to attend. So those ones you have to
do you think there's some benefit came out of the COVID? Now that the world knows that maybe you can also work inside without going to the office. What do you say about that? Do you think
COVID brought about a lot of positive things as well as negative things. It's enabled the world that, especially when it comes to work, you can work anywhere you want. And Igbo people, when these things happen, they create the right infrastructure to seize the opportunities. But what have we changed as a result of COVID? We haven't changed anything. We have not benefited anything from COVID. Even the help crowd they decide to give us in terms of that medical facility or what there was one healthcare thing. Is it working? Do you understand? It's not working. They use it just for political expediency. We don't know what happens. And I think the COVID thing should brought the impetus for us to even, improve the way Noguchi and these people work. But hey, this is Ghana. It's like when they say in Chi, who I bet you or something, or in
When
Ghana.
the balls, it will cool down, eh?
Yeah, that is the way we live our lives.
It gets
Yeah.
hot and it will get cold.
Yeah, exactly. And when it's cold, that's it.
Nothing is working in Ghana.
It's over.
Nothing
Then we start jubilating. Oh, hey, that's it. Oyibo, when it is cold, that is when they start working.
But I said that Ghana, we benefited from COVID than any other country. Because
Yeah, you see, we benefited from COVID. That benefit went to individual pockets rather than to the whole nation as a whole. You understand? Ajima Menu, he single-handedly benefited from it. And the whole president went to defend him. Do you understand? It is only in Ghana
Ajima
that...
Menu is going to court now for the Sputnik, $6 million. Yeah. They are taking him to court
and
now.
you think something will come out of it?
Let's wait and see. Well, both MPP and DC are rubbish. I've been saying they are all
and we also had the frontier. They collected the $150.
Mr. Chum, today, the former Auditor General, Mr. Dobolovo, has come to say, and this is a crocodile in the water, that the people accused of taking money and so on, they are so intelligent that they destroy what we call audit trail.
Yeah, I read that one.
Evidence for audit trail. But I don't agree with him in a way. Do you understand? I don't agree with him in a way that once they were able to get an inkling of some level of corruption, it's easier to trace some of this. Do you understand? Otherwise, what was the basis? Okay, let's say we see a duplicate payment. Do you understand? Once there's a duplicate payment, you have to do whatever is possible. The person who made that payment or the person who received that payment can be held to account. Do you understand? And that thing he said also, and I've said this, or I realized this, look, so long as we don't enforce documentary evidence, in this part of the world, if you even destroy evidence, if you destroy evidence, it is a different charge.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You destroy paper trail or whatever, that is a different case altogether. It will carry a different charge to you. But look at Ghana, people claim they are lawyers, they are this, they are just making noise.
Thieves. Oh my God.
Here, when they catch you that you have destroyed evidence, that one there, it complicates, it's an extra charge to what you are facing. Meanwhile, all what they are interested in is just the titles. I don't know how somebody is not your lawyer. He is not deciding any case for you. They call him counsel. Everybody say counsel. Everybody counsel. How can I call my lawyer counsel? How? And right now, the legal profession. Right now, we have the Ghana Bar Association on the one hand, which is pro NPP. Now they have established another organization called Ghana Law Society, which is pro NDC. Do you understand? I don't understand. If you look at the object of the whole thing, it should benefit Ghanaians. But now it has become political. It's like, okay, UK here, we have different accountancy bodies. Do you understand? we have ACCA, we have SEMA, we have ICA, England and Wales, and so on. So you as an individual will decide which one you want to, which you want to write the exam, so you want to belong to. That is the essence of what they are doing. So that people or people want to be lawyers are not tied to one organization. But the thing has, from ab initio, it has been divided into MPP and DC. How does it work? Because Ghana Law Society was established by pro-MDC people. And Ghana Bar Association too is an MPP because it's Joe Gate's wife who is doing the thing. Do you understand? They are all supposed to be controlled by the Ghana Legal Council. But the thing has been divided already. So, I don't know.
I told you there are more idiots and tribes people in Ghana than citizens.
And to take it from where Mr. Chum left, you see, when Akwantufuo said the employees pretend to work, and we today the employers also pretend to be paying them. It is like an admission of complete failure. It's like Akwantufuo just threw in the towel. That this is a situation, there's nothing we can do about it.
There's no leadership. No
a leader.
No leader.
How can a leader think this way?
Well, you got too many idiots in this country.
So it means there's nothing that we can solve this thing. Complete admission of failure. Anyway, Papa Smiley, where is he? He ran away because the way I wanted to give it to him, he should come back. Look, Papa Smiley used the description marginal propensity to be corrupt. Papa Smiley, the type of corruption we have in Ghana is not marginal. Understand? Take the marginal adjective.
No, I haven't called it. Yeah, I covered 20 minutes.
Okay, come.
When I say the marginal now, so and I say our marginal propensity to consume or maybe what?
Yeah, but Papa Smiley, if you bring the marginal, you are lessening the whole thing. In economics, in economics, where the marginal is used, it's like extra.
Of course, that is what we are talking about. So,
you think the corruption in Ghana is extra?
No. That is not how we are addressing the issue. Because
the corruption in Ghana is the tendency.
Wait.
People have the tendency.
Abi,
what they can't look anywhere. What they want to do is to steal, to commit whatever. So.
All right.
They have the tendency. It's not marginal.
Akrache, you carry on with Abi no of a trim. I'll make sure I'll just get because I need to step away now. Yeah, so I'll just carry on.
From Sadieke, Google say about say they about Papa low wage in any corruption. No, is there any correlation? Is there any relativity was that,
and I think Papa Smiley asked you some of the questions, or Mr. Chum asked you some of the questions. Bombardier, wherever we all are, even in this brochure we are, UK, America, Germany, no employee, you understand? No employee is happy, even the CEOs and so on. They are not happy with how much they are paid. You understand? They are not happy. That is why we have what we call the principal-agent relationship. Okay, a CEO whose job involves using jet to travel anyhow, he or she is not even happy how much he or she is being paid. They want a jet they can sleep in. They want a bigger jet. The more you are paid, the more you want to get more of that.
So does it mean that the human being is insatiable?
We are insatiable, but what makes our part of the world worse is this: lack of control.
Yes.
Okay, but Bombardier, when we say control, I don't know how people
understand. Maybe people see control as the way we use control in our part of the world. They will force you. They will catch you. No. Oh, this one, I want to go here. He doesn't want me. No. Look, in our part of the world, I've always been saying it. Bombardier, we don't have.
When we say in our part of the world, what do we? Are we? Is there a dichotomy or a segregation of the world?
So many things happen in our part of the world will not happen here. You understand? Here, when they are paying you £12 an hour, the point is nobody is chasing you. Nobody is doing. If you are not happy with the £12 an hour, then don't go and do the job. Because once you accept that you want to do the £12 an hour, that is why you are there. You have to do it. You understand? So when I say I relate only to Ghana, I mean not even Nigeria, but of course what applies in Ghana applies in Nigeria as well, or most African countries. Okay. The point is, in our part of the world, Bombardier, we don't. Have you ever heard in any circles in Ghana that okay, this project we are doing? We are building efficiency in the even road construction. Have we built in efficiencies in the road construction we are doing? The answer is no. Do you understand? Two, when you were talking, you made mention of productivity. Do we even factor that into the processes we are doing? Productivity is mainly about output over input. Do you understand? Oh, we want to construct, let's say, 100-kilometer road. But if we manage the resources well, maybe we can build 110 kilometers instead of 100 kilometers. Do you understand? But that is not how we think. Because immediately you voted the money. 100 kilometer crowd, if they give you 90 crowd, they say, oh, we've done well. So we don't build in productivity in everything we do.
But a parliament pass a value for money bill. Say, let me
finish my case. Let me finish my case. You are bringing a different kettle of fish. Let me
Okay, continue.
Okay, so efficiency measures, no, it's not part of our way of life. It's not part of our thinking. Productivity is not part of our thinking. You made mention of Kwame Nkrumah. Jimpa. You know the original name for Jimpa? Ghana Institute of something Productivity Institute. Do you understand? Then they've hijacked it to do what they are, that rubbish they are doing called Jimpa. Okay. Bombardier, even there is one aspect too we call efficacy. Do you understand? Efficacy means if you are going to construct road, okay. So far, we have been used to using bitumen, using all this, building this thing. Okay, we even have to sit down and say, is the bitumen we are going to use, the method we are using to construct the road, is it the most optimal or is it the best method we should be using? Or is it because, oh, this is what we've been using all the time, then that's it? You even have to question the method you are using to do the thing. But not in our part of the world, though. By the time they award you the contract, they will tell you, oh, if you use 2 gallons of paint or 2 gallons of quota, it should be okay. Do you understand?
Abe, how do we address that?
I'm coming. Okay.
No excellence. No
Yeah. Then the last bit. The last bit. It's not even the last. We have about 5 factors. But let me settle on this one. effectiveness. You know, the difference, let me give you the difference. The difference between efficiency and effectiveness is this. Efficiency is about doing things right. Efficiency, you are doing what you want to do, you are doing it properly. That is efficiency. But in our part of the world, we ignore that too. And even effectiveness, which is doing the right things. You understand? Effectiveness is about doing the right things. Efficiency is about doing things right. Effectiveness is about doing the right things. You understand? Given road construction or given rail construction and so on, what we want to achieve is road construction the most effective thing we need to do, or rail construction is the most. We need to deliberate on all of these things. Okay, but Bombardier, when you put all this analysis or when you build all of these things together, it will lead and the other one, economy. Economy is about cost. You understand? Cost of doing the thing. How do we provide what we are providing at a lower cost? You understand? Let's say, okay, our initial estimate was it's going to cost us 50 million cedis. But if we get the best labor, if you get the best equipment, and so on, or the best resources, or even where we are going to buy the inputs, we could come around and even get it cheaper than we estimated, or best quality than estimated. So that will even reduce the cost. Do you understand? So how can we do it cheaper than we even expected or anticipated? So there will be savings element built into that. But this is not how we think. By the time they decide to do the thing, somebody have agreed who we should give the thing to, how much cut we'll get out of it.
You get 30% in his pocket already.
Exactly.
So all that you are saying, it comes back to the most important resource. That's the human resource. So how do we treat the what kind of software does the human resource the human being? Because whatever you are saying, it comes back to the most important. That's the human being. So what is the status of the human being? What is the thinking of the human being? The human being work in Ghana. Okay. Because we have to work on that person before anything can.
Okay. I hear. Because I was going round to. But let me address this concern. But to get the right people, to get the right people, you have to go through the system by attracting the best in class. If I say the best in class, I'm not saying somebody who had first class, all those rubbish things.
Experience.
You understand? You have to attract those people who have the right caliber to do the job, so that you can realize your identify savings, you can achieve the efficiencies, you can do the productivity and so on targets you have.
Where
you go and take party food soldier.
No, wait. Where can we find this group of Ghanaians who are who falls into what you are describing? Where can we find those group of Ghanaians?
By advertising, by advertising the job, or using whatever relevant screening processes you need to do to attract the right caliber.
Who is going to do that? Which nationality? Which person is going to do the advertisement?
Bombardier, look, all these things falls under different institutions or different ministries. Do you understand? So whoever assigns or want to achieve that thing is responsible for combing the whole of Ghana. I'm not saying the whole world is included. If you go to the whole world, you are attracting best in class Ghanaians who can do that. But that is not what we do. They give it to party food soldiers who don't have a clue. They don't know what. Oh, they don't know what the whole thing is about. They give it to them because they are party food soldiers. So whether they know A from B, they don't care. So how? Because it is only when we do that that there could be savings. That savings could be used to give the employees bonuses or to add to the low salary. Do you understand? So if all these things are Greek, if let's say are Greek, we bring in these factors into a Greek, it will lead to lower cost of production, higher productivity in our sector, and could impact on food prices. But that is not what we do. They give to party food soldiers as a reward for the noise they made, for the runs they made. Do you understand? The standard of living improvement doesn't rely on these party food soldiers. So it relies on proper processes with put in place to enable us to achieve these things. But that is not how we are managing and governing ourselves. The world you are in, the world I mean, that is what they do. If it is trade ministry, the trade ministry's responsibility is to ensure that whatever imports and so on they will do, there are some of these.
What all that you're describing is the ideal situation. That's what we want in the perfect world. But the 30 million, we have 30 million people. Some are public servants, even though we have civil servants in other way, they are public servants. So why are we not producing the kind of the caliber of worker that will create that efficiency and
because the people leading us themselves. The people leading us themselves were handpicked. Papa's Bombardier, ECG, that ECG have been arguing with you and fighting with you all the time about. ECG, when these rubbish MPP people left, they replaced like with like. So what do we expect from it? The ECG director they brought, he used to be sales something. You understand? Sales something, I've forgotten the name. So they replace like with like. What do you expect when you replace like with like? The same rot. And you made mention of the ideal. Papa Bombardier, the ideal is being achieved by different countries. Because all what they do, all their effort is towards achieving the ideal. But we behave as if the ideal is unachievable. Like the way Akwantufuo threw in the tower. Akwantufuo didn't try to solve for the ideal. So this one, they are pretending, so let's also pretend. That would not give you the ideal. But before I go, let me touch on your value for money. But what you see, we are like jokers, big time jokers. Purpose Bombardier, value for money is not something you achieve at a stage. Do you understand? So I don't know what that value for money bill wants to achieve. Value for money is not something you wake up today, they bring one document to you, you sign, bam, I've achieved value for money. Value for money is achieved through laid down processes. You understand? If you want to buy something, or if you want to buy something either locally or outside and so on, what processes do you have in place for people to follow? Do you understand? Maybe you want to, the source, they want to procure the thing, it should be the cheapest, or it should be the most productive. I mean, it is the processes you follow. So that at the end of the day, when these processes are followed, it will remove corruption, it will reduce the impact of it. So I don't understand what that. We don't need a bill before we achieve value for money. We don't need that. It is the processes. And that is where the discipline of leadership comes in. So are they telling us that when these value for money processes become low, they will stop single sourcing? Would they stop that? there will be competitiveness in bidding for some parties. Do you understand? So the thing is like gimmickry. We are going round in circles.
Okay, let's go what shall say.
Do you understand? So, well, you want Alex Biniwa to come in. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah.
Alex Mrameba.
Okay.
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 Yeah, Mr. Chum, let's come then. Yeah.
Mr. Alex, Ebia, what's the song to emotion?
Yeah, he's busy. Okay, then let Dr. Ajiboy come in then. Or Mr. Chunibua. Chunibua Kodia. Because last time he said he wants to be called Kodia.
Can I say one thing before somebody comes in? Yeah?
Yeah, Mr. Chum can come here. Yeah.
Now, Prince,
I think he's busy, yeah.
Now, you see, this thing about Kufuor said it. The man showed lack of leadership. And in Ghana here, you see, our problem is the way we think and reason. Even today, after Kufuor left office about almost 15 years ago, 18 years ago, people make reference, hey, that is why President Kufuor said the Ghanaian worker pretends to work and we pretend to pay them. Such a stupid thinking. That has become a mantra, and everybody on radio programs in Ghana here, they say it all the time. So that is why I keep saying the Greek thinkers identified 3 groups of people in every society: citizens, idiots, and tribesmen. Ghana has got about 90% tribesmen and idiots. That is the situation in Ghana. Some of us who think with principles, we are very few. We are less than 10%. And that is a tragedy. That's why the country is making no progress. How can Kufuor say that you are the president? You're supposed to be showing leadership, be in control, and show direction. But he has thrown in the towel and said, hey, the Ghanaian worker, he's admitted the Ghanaian worker is pretending to work. It's your duty to show leadership and direct them and control them. But because he cannot do it, everybody in Ghana, 90% of the population are buying into Kufuor's thinking. Very low, mediocre thinking.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Mediocre thinking. And that is what is going on. That is why I said after Nkrumah, Ghana is making no progress. Look, they are doing some construction work in front of 100 yards from my house. I think a week ago, somebody said on this program, oh, maybe I hear construction in Futuro. In Futuro, what is the common? Use sprinkle water to reduce the dust. But people, somebody came in with bravado to say, oh, maybe a construction piano, there must be dust. Yes, there will be dust, but how do you reduce the dust? By sprinkling water. People are not thinking the way I'm thinking.
Yeah, but
it's sad.
In this part of the world, in this part of the world, when they give you any construction work, it could be road construction or building something, and the debris from your work goes to destroy somebody's thing. You'll be sued and you'll be paid. You have to pay for that.
You have to pay. People are it's killing people. Dust coming in. People are breathing into our eyes, into our lungs, and somebody say, "Hey, maybe a construction will be in Futuro." That person is not thinking. Now in Futuro, is it not a health hazard? He's not thinking like that. It's okay. I said also last year, you're talking about 500 and something million. You're building Circle Dubai Interchange. Go and see. Say, Abadam for what we are Ghana for. So let them stay there. Hey, look at us thinking. Honestly, you see, the problem is the quality of our reasoning and thinking. That is where the problem is. We don't have a leader. That is why they kick out Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah was thinking and behaving like Oyibo. So they say, oh, this man is frustrated. Let's throw him out, and so we can start fooling around. And after 66, we have been fooling around until now. MPP and DC, 2 rubbish parties, criminals. Even the other day, the president Mahama is using his brother's plane. People are saying, oh, what is wrong with that? What do you see that happen in America? Is there any president using his brothers? That borders on corruption, conflict of it. Okay, Ibrahim is giving his plane to his brother Mahama to fly. What is Muhammad giving back to Ibrahim? Do you know? Do you know? Do you think there's no free lunch anywhere? If Ibrahim is giving his private jet to JDM to fly, what is JDM also giving to Ibrahim? That is what all of us don't know. And people are saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. You see how stupid we think. We don't think positively. We don't look for the best. Everything we do is mediocre. Corruption is in our DNA. And I've said 90% of black people are genetically congenital liars. It is wrong for Ibrahim. This same Ibrahim, when Muhammad was in office,
Mr. Chum, it seems Arts been or Trump. Yeah.
How about you? Anyway, I stop. Let them come. Let other people come.
Yo, yes,
I think Bombard is back. Yeah.
of I say wrong say Ibrahim Muhammad Muhammad be fan play. Alternative ne say yanko han 44,000 hour per play and I say alternative bay.
No, that's not the alternative. I did not say that. No.
I said cano me
that is not the alternative.
Alternative yeah.
Dabio, Kwame Nkrumah, President Kwame Nkrumah, no, you still Ghana was playing the same play. I do what you call Hanoi. Kwame Nkrumah never used presidential jet. Kwame Nkrumah was the first president.
Engineer say alternative ben a wo de beba one can. Nti me can ma me so me can be. On Zadian say obi aka na obeso so a ebema ade na yo. America wo ka say America for obi ye hu say America use obi president. American konko han private jet. And no man mo ba no maka ni nyina bo me say bomba de bisa Mr. Be question bi ototo pass o ntimi anya no the same thing na wo ba na bisa question. Mo ntimi anya no mo trap pass.
Of Abe who musta me question bi a me dey who musta me question. Who musta
Dia me kira ne say oba e no bisa ne say wo say ya fa party full soldiers yanko fan krofo we hwan na be selection sa nipa no we hwan what me distinguishing
Mr. Buedi, hold on. And I answered Bombardier. Whoever is going to recruit the people, it is his or her responsibility to ensure that he or she attract the right caliber of Ghanaians to come and do the job.
Dear criteria ne de beto say assume sin enko recruit.
Exactly. So that is where the person who is doing the recruitment or the person who sees the need for getting the best Ghanaians to do, that is the person's incompetence.
Mr. Abi,
if I'm the one in charge, I will know how to recruit the best. But because if you give Basintele to do this thing, what experience he got to follow?
To you, Basintele yet. Into one person.
Whoever gave Basintele the job in the first place is the one who made the wrong choice. Sami Jemfi is the same. If you tell Sami Jemfi to recruit somebody who is going to deal with these high-level derivatives, Sami Jemfi hasn't got a clue.
Mr. Abi, more war of a tree and a microphone or more sound for now. We are gonna problem basically. I said, Muhunu pass someone gonna problem because the far we are, what's the way yet? Of a coffee jump.
Yeah, because we are seeing the result they are producing.
Mama Yankatabi. Since I never seen Telemaya, no, not Ghana, and ya Ghana to America, but in Telemodi, a great a big Koya. And since MPP, Emma Pawano, near Ghana, of a coffee pencil, we are Ghana to America and MPP for Bejuguye. And Tessa, Moya Jadianama, so many years, one to me, American, than to American. America in a long time. More age mate in a teacher America. It's Wokano, Momo Tam, dear Namoye. Apart from Kwame Nkrumah, Motam, dear Namoye. Ya bisa question ya free to besine. Obia to me, he said, what call ye baby? Yep, Macassa, money, one problem because we one place a bit. Oh, Obi the day also. One place a bit favor man. Now, what a bay argument, no. And also, I am what because of say Ghana 60 years or 70 years are independent in Yajano. Ube just 30 years, say 30 years and I say Omana. Before 30 years in Ambrano. Now Ghana might say America, might say UK in 30 years for no far greater. And obey infrastructures in Guyana. There be that. And this 18 at me, I'm no more, you say, move single out some people near this in Asa Omana and Yanokre, meaning to Muda. na more type of people na moma Ghana brand. Because Ghana materials na ye wono e de use omo. Mr. Alex akasa asem we wo hwasa footballers ye wono. Ye kobo World Cup ye se ye ko frɛ obi obo first division wo UK. Na UK for no ne ya ye no omo kwa akobo no. Omo nkrofo no bo Chelsea, ebo PSG, ebo Barcelona, omo de Real Madrid, omo de Champions League. Ye nkrofo no bo ebi a first division, fourth time. Na one ne koshia waka tell say one ne quality be epe. Obehye obebiri. Enti yen so yen timi nkofa obi ti say can say Barcelona star because of say you play bi am Barcelona, ye ni quality wo ho. But Sintele na wo kan no, ye compare Ghana for no around omo ne no na one e best wo. Mr. Ebeyam be fa wa ye fa obi no, sa nipa na ye best 17 ye fa no no. Unless we prove otherwise. Enti say ye nyai we ye be kasa and ye say complain ade ni say ko but yen so de ye na ye prove ye ho say me abi ye de yi adwuma no ma me metimi aye ade ne Mr. Abi why ye nti a yen kwohwe so ne yemfa adwuma saa na ma no ade na Mr. Abet ma ye nti a yen kwohwe so ne yemfa saa adwuma we nhye me say me prove bibi say bibi ani ho ma ye ne different extraordinary na bibi ani ho a less aye no extraordinary na sa less no na kwaye campaign mi ato abama na ese ye de ma no because oba o ma ehwe ye hu America for bogasi o matter radio so akasa sen Mr. Abi ne ofa kofi mu o ma bagana a ye de yi dwumadie ni hye o mo nsa no o mo de ne kra de ton trawo so be chire nsem ni mu o mba ye gugro magugu no ye nkrofo ye MPs ministers ye hu am na entra brochire o mu nyina ba school brochire o mu nyina akasa se ne ye kasa yi make us unless say be ye bibi ye nya obi a ono ye extraordinary bi ye nya Elon Musk na Elon Musk wo ho ne ye mfa Elon Musk nya adwuma na bi a ye be fa kwahwe ba bi na ye dia ene ye be ka me supporto but argument na say argument sake muna muma kwabla munya kwan a omutimi sa ba radio so a na o ma be kasa because of say fact na ho no monka enkrofo ni bi enu o mo bo Ghana Blaster no saa nkrofo mienu na ese compare omo say ye players mienu omo boyi wan na ya de na ye jai saa players mienu akofa nkrofo omo ti America na ye de be compare ye nkrofo na e ba saa nipa no mienu na omo ye de o ya under perform it say kufu ado ba ya obeye no ma basa no untumi ya to aba wie ne akukuru 50 million e de ama no koko sika akufu ado sije na fakọ ya to aba wie o ni ya tise sika ni nyina na de ama no ye ba ye meka sa no mo wi an wo twa ne ho akogina koko afom se o sa se NDC fo ntwiaka oh ye chi obi so a mo akro ya mbasa begina say oh ye we chanting because I didn't ye chi nipa no I didn't chief justice kro na na ote ho na no hwe because of say woman organizer no mo wi no ma almost sensa check almost sensa no ma yi na akọ wo hu di ade ne te MPP fo ya mo ti ade a na mo de ko besi mo de obi nto aso afa ya drum so ana abe
Alex Bremu.
agrate yeah na mensa so bibinti na me so ma enyi bisa fo e che munyina na ene be ba na be kasa na abe atem na pesa become be abana my busy na oka selection of quality your friend saying why
Workers.
you Ghana na you call Germany and they call for Professor Frempong Boateng bibinia or ye brunia kumamu operation na ede ne ba Ghana enti quality ben na mo open bio you call for adutwim ede ne ba Ghana adutwim na nsen ya o inflate cost nipa 3,500 for no 5,500 education minister you know it is not about say you need quality no ho nipa no more but the leadership is not good and they all carry am no ya ti of us be otaka say we are not governing ourselves well no and no there says I don't have kasa kada bia me ne be di kobo because me pesa asem no and in fact there is nowhere we be kasa Ghana governing kama and no there nya no correct na mmom
between two persons na yeah cause about papa so compare NDC to MPP there about papa and you cannot compare NDC to American president. You can't because here on na ye betu no NDC betu aban no a no wo ho no sa aban no a na ye compare say aso ene no we no wo ho no ye ade e chen de ye tu no ana na ye tu no ye ya ade e kire say assessment aye ne say sebia ndi MPP no kura ye yi ni firi ho no ya ye mfomso se ye yi ono na ye de abanfo aba eno na ya ka no ha mo de munti bi da yo because MPP no ye tu no se ye nya good resource wa e chen ne de no e kire se ye ko ye nim eno no asem ni nyina no it is not about say Ghana afare to mapa nyina afira da bi tesa na mom Ghana no a ye de ko si bupo bi so a monka bi amna bim no obi aba oyi a odi firi amena no mba soro even yenya nuru sorompo ye nuru konko so yenya mfansi sorompo na yakasa afi de ye de beko benkum ni fa na ase eno na ye no ye ni age se yenya ahodenfo bi a say Ghana no otimi pagya firi amena no because na ye wo ditch oh eno na ye kana hada bi aba se na mumusi mani luku se ye praise omo no na me pesa me kire o say Akwantufuo ye Ghanaian na on the finance minister Asiama was Bank of Ghana onokura de ye sabotage no kakakrabi kura jabankoko prison sankrofo prisoners candidate of prisoners in ne omama dollar aba from omama patro bo ba from Ghana ze nye no hantoko ya ga patro wo from and in fact so he dollar effect no kura no say nye dollar ya aba from Ankasa every patron ke beton be 25-26 per liter in Ghana. I know what I say a leadership say leaders no omo command say yeah for we ko benkuma and na de kontiabe no matter what unim economy uye financial unim sikasem to no okwa Ghana just say na say omo no de compromise wa de panyin no be kase munye no na mbe said they know for Kofi kase Kufuor say twia weka na ka kese na watimi aye adwuma ne kwan no so no e kira wo say ono Kufuor no e ho na adwene wo no nim die nyina ne say so ma weka na sika bebre a e na obeye den obeye yire ne ho aye adwuma and in fact so he Ghana ye salary we no a structure no Kufuor time no true salary mu ankasa e no de yampa o ma sika ko soro enti amanfo gi pay na mo ma na ma so bo ye di chen pay no nti no adanko dada adwe o de ma bebre na waje enti sa na no ekosi ye ono no na breso no o ma sika ko soro dollar ko soro inflation bibia ko soro oba na petrol na eto no for 6,400 or the quarter 13,000 enti no so no to pay mu no de 30% to so wato ayinum 50% into no 30% no still meti we no so ho ti ono so the idea no na se na wo na ye ni finance minister on the better to say yes no onya sa position no nti anya party for soldiers na ye adwuma no nipa omo ye learned people omo sua de adutwim nom ene ofori ataye okwo ye political decision a man here adwuma na oye ye no it wasn't say no nim yansa na ye political decision say yes ye ni say nti na nata ma na mo kan wo ha say Akufo ado sesa na me nko na meta aka say me hu de nti say sesa no because sesa no na Akufo ado no na be say appointing ni pa foforo dia the person obe di Akufo ado be command ne so oje eno na obe ye. Are you telling me say obi oye finance minister no onim finance minister na adwuma ne sen na adwuma ne say yes sika say na kotua mankrofo we ko balance accounts we hwehwe sika we ni policy we na yede aba policy making na you know kra no Bank of Ghana making more policies change finance ministry ho eti no eno ane so mo de ba ne de ye nkrata signing nkrata o ti say secretary me one time bi na me ye efa the same fan say na me ye leader na me secretary no wako school ni ma de pa ba me so me nim hwe nanso de no otwere bia me na me ka kire ne say twere ne say fa we sem ye we all this nyina so ye bibia na efa ne kwan mu And here say wako school to it as a way leader. Name mum as a say, one why be the year Juma say I didn't know happen from me. Now say political power is in your bum you don't have right to challenge your boss. Who challenge you? Obey you ready. Did you no person mo no and no modi politics no you. Ti we na ye huni sa no. Ye politics ma of a coffee na sem no ye da bia say we are not governing ourselves well. Eno de ye. Nye say ye ni nipa o. Ye wo mema ne ma wo mo sua de. Ah na abe ade na wo besua no yuka wo dwene se wo nim die. Nti wo nko na wo sua ade aduro. Check yourself. Na check nkrofo bebra wo nim o mo a. Se nka wo ye ka say omo akoye adwuma wa akofo baba mi wan kasa krofo a ye ma okwan se bobo wahu omo pen ya tama na akofo ado to ho na omo ye adwuma wo ho a wuni momo ndc aban mu kura no you know some of them tekpe eye oni papa na say tekpe a ubo ne din da bie no ne president Mahama Jubilee house ho nti wo fi se bibi koso wo ho na onima na say edenim de no assign na chi na say adenti na ono owo ho president no fa no say the guy is good nti o metra me che ha nenso de ekoso kroma ebema niam akoso ebema niam abafo ebema bibia stabilize no hwan mo na eye e kira o say decision na president no making ho no oni nyansani no bi na make sa decision no ansa na beduru atofo sin anim ana ono adwe ana atofo sin kra de ba omu wo nipa ono so ye good a ono ne be check say the atofo sin kan ya ba nti any decision bi as anko ya kire say the president a o ya ban panin no o ya John Mahama no ni idea no nti amamo no ekosu no nyina no it is not about the technical fault deliberate say na me person man no ko e na ekọ no ti ye differentiate and I say ye compare two governance no and two government no you see say ba ko see yensi asore dai na nyame be hira ye na ama dollar mo akofom na ama dollar mo aye and I say petrol bo abafom so ahu eno no wo ka je me say ofori atenti na ono no ninim die nyina no say yesi asore dai na nyame be bo aye ono nso na ko yi sika de ko tua asa contractors ne ka but obi na command no so onye so adwuma no nka ofori ata maga na so ba besi asore da yo owo ho dada na oye na yi no hu so osi asore dada enti me ka kire wo say it is not about say ye ni mema ye wo nipa no bi wo ho omo wo ho no o de Ghana ni a owo Ghana eba America so meye finance minister obeye good job me na me ka me kire obeye adwuma papa and the main pen say obeye ohun se bia wonim di che omuntia wonim di che omuntia na emo bia wo pepa che omu because wo no ukọ ho se ya say ukọ yes adwuma no a ye ma wo omu ma okwan ma wo fa adwempa na nyenti no wonye eno kire wo say wakoma ye na wakoma ye so de akasa na obekasa abre because ye ma wo nwura
Na
ayirim na
Alex, wujidi se, adịnt na ekese, Ghana ni kwa buchire wo ye ejuma na Ghana no
eno
mo.
ana me kan
Na
eno ana
edin
me
ne
kire
bata.
mu ai eno ana me kire mu a
Ade ne
se
bata.
broni na wo ye na adwuma no ono pesa adwuma no ye yie enti ono no ahye da ye controls wo agu ho even Ghana ho no controls wo ho owo do's and don'ts wo ho na eno na kira wo say ono de ono panyini no pesa wo ye no ena ono no obema wa ye sa na me kire enti no abrochire ha no de adwuma no pesa wo ye eno na wo be ye ena ye so ye ho eden enti se ye ho eden na wo mo se ye adwuma we na utimi ya o ma de ede na aka bi o he ma me fa me ho nye example me ba kroma na me ne nkrata ena me ko ye adwuma bi me ko ye adwuma ma broni na obi nkrata na me yusu ena Nigeria ni nkrata na me yusu ena ne ho ba asem ena ne yire frɛ me sɛ ma nya adwuma na e be ba bɛkye no na de ma broni no pɛ masɛm ne sɛ one day the first day a me ko ye na ensuo bi eta amena wa sɛ ye lift a construction no ye lift a amena na lift ni sim no ɛhɔ na yɛde ayi lift no lift kɛseɛ no a esi hɔ no yɛde si enti yɛtutu lift no afei yɛbɛ yɛ hɔ na yɛde lift ahyɛm lift a nipa foro efie hɔ na efie hɔ efi nyina akogu saa amena nti wɔn pɛ obi obeyi na papa yɛ mɛ so first day a makɔ adwuma na ɔde mi kɔ gyina mu ɔhwɛ ya na mehwɛ n'anim na ɔhwɛ adeɛ na ohu sɛ I have been to me juma. That time so cry na me a slim guy na but I been a baba brutally mono me yeah juma that minimum and me j me j somewhere ne ayi and na me within 3 hours na my yeah juma ni na wi papa na de me walk no you should BMW we no the bound the speed or by some my friends say my wi juma no e ho and as papa yi ohun say this guy anti free ho and no mama me contract ada no mama me contract say your contract no your friend fin de obra say juma no esa na me contract no so asa eti yeah juma da be 3 weeks and na Nigeria di no yire friend me say ni kunu ho aba asem ti man yeah juma na e be ti me so for paper ba say na me ko ka tire obo say paper no ko nya me dia sada no anu mu yi madi wow sada no anu mu yi madi eti ada no me na mu na man no say hu me ohun mi na ofre me buy na obisa na mansanya krata no fofra na adam di da bi no osi oku ze no de ekro mbo no de ye ekro kese enti no they da me ko tena village bi na 2 weeks time obeye na wa ye contract man na ya ma me krata ti sa man no na ye document ma me o ye document ma me free because of adwuma den no a me ye no wo ho no enti no de ampa me kire ne say ye ko adwuma num no you will see say obi anjiro obi ahwe o but controls wo ho a okwa no pa ye si say na ye obi nobody is joking even say ayi casco no a ye di say tikura no the man no ba ho a muso no obi ahwehwe ne de ayi e friend casco e kura mo friends ayi I don't check that the che ya ye di say
Helmet, yes, a construction helmet.
that's right helmet
Be a
no
yellow, be a red, be a blue.
that's right yeah the any yellow say papa no eba ho na omuhu ne car no na obi ebra akọ hwehwe ne de say me se bia na so se bia be yiwadi ti no me be me kire say control mechanism abeka ne da bia no ene na ye the whole thing na why ne be put some mechanism no in place ye president no presidency no ne say ohunu say wo mafa we ene president ma say oye talk
The DS one na as a or you know 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
One second. Some make you
Papa, me wow.
I mean, some they in charge and I said, one in charge, but my don't in charge.
Na my business because some be
Huh?
say make but yeah obit aka ne de na watena akwanim.
Okay. Somewhere. I'm just some why busy.
Some so busy kaka. Make it dey say we emeritus nti o ka ne de area hye no na watena akwanim. Yes sir.
Of too many you to one batch. Now yeah, make it that can Canada or Canada, we are not at why. Now, want to ask. Okay, all right then.
So, Jacosi na Edam so ba okay. Ye dia ka na paka ye ka dia yakasa. Na me ya be yakasa.
Do aprechi e beda wase. Na em se me ba mu na beto me wura mu ana team din se o pabna no ba no ma be keka nsem ne ade na ma pabna no makonya o mu keka nsem no pre akwanya de so de magana ni bia no ka ne boto asem a hian mahama kra ya ma ne bre so on ka ne boto asem upon true di Ghana po nyina keka nsem chere Ghana po twa ntro e ma yeto abama no oba ya onhu kra emfa de nchi mu kra no utie no agini di sensem no ka no be ya ma Ghana fo ama Ghana kwanenim me ba na pesa wo keka basenteri say basenteri no one na ye best e wo Ghana onye best e ye party bi na akpo aba no bonya sa akwanya no say ye mfa no nkoye say adwuma no obede nipa 500,000 no mkopa adwuma na nsia na ka basenteri ka hwan ko binya maye ko nya adwuma nye na adwuma oye ne so ye dede ko say mama for so ko demonstration o twen se kan ne etu ko gina mahama fi no eno position ye de ama no enye say owo nyansa oye best atbio ebi when it come to your party na one and the best people are women there when the best candidate oh my name onyo piasa enti fast asam say on the best on your best Sam George on your best okuja to Ablakwa on your best omo mo ni anya best e party ni ato abama no wanya saa wanya pata de to echi ai Obasanjo no o say MPP me am MPP kwan ma the office na wote no why yi as a hwan na MPP for da woroma e dey create his office no ma na woni mo adwuma o musa the party na ye ndisi mo tena ba mu 28 years adwuma be na o ma gya wo honom apart from no ma adwuma na o office be na o ma tinye gya say ko en ye gya adwuma we ama ye tinye afa nkrofo mo ha mo ba ko ndi national health insurance na mo sori a mo ni nse nwu ade na mo fa emran na mo tutu office brum photo mo say why the credit say nyuma na ma fo mo bia why mo fa mama mo yi ento MPP for eni ma MPP for no bia mo timi nyem one Obosha will say what be say
suffer my go
Papa no ha na say ebi wa wo atie na say what NDC for say mo keka ni oman ba bi e de ko say e bi oman na do
I know say they are all kire wadwene so but I want you to step in the position of a host kakra na me musu asem said the MPP for the man and this 90s also the MPP so that kind of attitude we can't even appreciate Bibi Kakrebi Krano, no matter how small it is, the effort of each other now. Do you think that we can make any development?
I don't say bia ye chichiro man ya ho. Ye say bia we do akudu ha. Na ye so ye de atoa so, na de akwasa na chichira mo. Ene say odi oba ni obi aye kura na wo benefit wo mu na rubbish mi wan so e ho na wote. What kind of life is this? Eje na watimi ejama Ghana for say ye bu say this for your mo say de ben na do na betu 28 years e de ben ye mfa mo ye ho asafon so de eja Ghana for wotimi nka ba ko won ba de obi aye kura wanya ho office te no who dis any panatem what kind of a life is this
You are doing the same thing on another dimension. O say you can say 20 years now you can say omonka bibi a omatimi ama Ghana right and then omatimi aka omutimi Ghana you also
Papa wo de ti masemi ba ko ne me pese me kire ne say sa but tell you adwuma ya wanyam a oyimu a wo hyehyɛ ntade ja police ntade navy ntade ne say ne man ntade a abimpi MPP na wodi o ma na yes our office man na wanyam atade e hye so hu ye fa national health insurance here ne me so hu etimi ya me peka
another dimension
papa wasem na aka na mate wasem na so bank ana be so mo so mama ya kwa so ebia yenso 2080 we ni ya ebia Ghana for benefit o ni e wusa mpa ye progress equity baba na baka say amamu mu bebu bi eje bibi ma Ghana for obebu amamu na atoro be kono mu eje bibi eso no ko ye be kusa so kwa e de na wudi giant so ye papa wo be di ade no wudi ade a e so je chiri ma bibi wudi oba nyahwe oba de oje ade no na be obeka ni oje gold be ton gold ni bi ye no wo se wudi e wo no ono amomode na wo a wo to ni mu na wo bomode. What kind of argument is this, Papa? Huh? You are mature here. Why you baby are grabbing your comayari? Almost a mob. I know what
said they all can wrong. Yes, sister, why here? Which me do be a chia no about me.
So okay, that's the way, ma. Oh, dear, and this is when I have the idea and say, you're Germany and can be an answer. Oh, yeah, Papa, say a few moments later. Oh, they say a few moments later, dear, the home. A few moments later. And somehow can I don't know. Anyway, who can it? So a few moments later. So
men do amachi I will never be a more ya
Miniomachi, when you do a chair, what brew through Miniomachi. They say, what am I doing? We are now this a put you now. Me, I'm the man. Say, oh, my God, no, my boy, come up with my opinion. And I'm going off about it. Now, I am quite him. About it, in Kana, of about it.
Yeah, me too. Go for Aquabra.
Baba, so na mini an o young crow for here. Say see the for watching for the audio material here our coma. So they have been there. Mind it.
I'm from Aquama, and I'm going to be.
All right, now you have a good year.
Unless you also come as a queer man, Casache, unless you be jump.
No, you jump. Propaganda.
But I mean, also sometimes, my dear Penny said, when we relate to some of our personal stories now, I love it that way. Say, on say, the Juma painting, be recognizing or Adibimu, a buano. You see, that is the application I wish to send Ghana for you now. You bet me the by a brand boom near ya and Kabema Krona Tumpong. But him, Kwabrania be for and I make us say, Yama party politics, not be me. I call it the time politics, they say. It's in a dynamic as of Pasmali. I have been reflecting all this week about Bob Marley's guiltiness. Seriously. The reason we are Ghana, Ghana ye. I mean, look at and some fun ebi mo yet to about my Trump or Hantino. Trump resume ben or the papa companies in our filing bankruptcy. But Nam said ni time and one America for
You can say
yes,
we
we have a presentation, Kwabna.
my man can't say I tell you to about papa.
There been a Mikasa when we be Kasa, who you good, but also Nipano, a baby. Yeah, because I've been a teacher before, so I know what I'm talking about. Oh, you're good. But the amount observe on Kwabna, Obi Kasa. Umani Pani, I said, we said, me and Messiah Cratcher, one of my researchers. Okay? What's up? Or no Kwani Bibi or the baby, I mean, deleted that ever since I'm share Papa way. But me compare, you are linking me, so the first said, oh, me this in me. Yes, my John CDR pay. At that time, not Syria or something purposeful in the village I was living. That is how I work my dynamics. I'm catching up as much as me over time and now myself. Because I follow my principles. I don't care. I say, Eja Kufuado, I go to Amnesty or Mecca. If you are the best support to Namano, Mahama did some money, Kokadi in some Akojina baby, politics, the opinion, which and truck a crown. How? Mecca, because that is how I was raised. Man, I did a Mecca was there. You better do Chrome and know see a chant through the G and crater.
Oh, now, me patcho maybe so. I'm not Akwantufuo to you saying.
That be na say obi no question boy yet one
Oh,
papa.
I'm a person. I'm not saying.
Enya ne boy na make am. Well,
Oh, that me compare. I'm not.
I don't want to compare anything.
Okay, and there's over. I'm saying 97 million dollars.
I don't care 97 million.
I want to say something. No. I want to say something.
You don't want me to talk. Minko.
I want you to talk. What can I want to link it with something?
The principle behind it. When you are a leader, the true hallmark of you is to be principled. And that is what is killing Ghanaians. We support every stupid thing. Papa no. I am here saying you be papa te. But when you are there, what the catch say what's so die? What bonfire over Wisconsin and near do corner more. Who American phone is here, so a good cause. But what bonfire so from dinner chin, we have fake pastors. Because Bible say kwasia no ni ni boshe so. Enti na me na maye ni so e kwasia. Ye kwa sorry. Wo so be ya de ewu asi ho. 8 years. Wo don akosha ubo. So kwabna please. Oh, and I'm gonna say these are some of the things omudia dry and nisu no omu say ekuru no. And I'm be see Trump dey make catch us so Trump resume be na no wo. Ye nim say papa e bibia go fight bankruptcy but ni time na wa American for muti no omu to abane man na hwede ekuru na akoye. You see, this is some of the things as human beings, we have to come out of our shell. So obi the normal biba yembo bomu ebi na media de metu ya ni say adwuma amoken say fine. Obia ni ho a sebe mu or win election or beka se on fa ne ho nkrofo. Eye obia. Sebi adwuma ye wo kurum ha say o ye panyi kura o pese referrals. That is why I didn't know who referrals are. They come look at who your job fair referrals. You look at them because who will be a juma paying. When we say assume a simina ye juma or any ye. And to be on the hunam nipa ba. But just what they hunam nipa ni ba and the national. And the politics of equalization. Now no the ya. And that's where yeah. Me follow side here no. That is why I'm trying to tell you. So I don't care about the cost. Cost when there's a growth from broken go order that. I'm from money ya Krasia meda. You try Akwantufuo near highways, interchanges or Accra. As one say Kwan that one so hona cocoa, any tomatoes, and then I'm booking for me and the fantasy bill. They want to protect their factories. Sorry, Bukulon, papa. We keep telling them, say, and yes, be a near me. Akuma Daniel tomatoes processing factory from December to May, and to see why I did. What are they doing about it? Obi buy one dam on the bed. All these things, it couldn't have affected us because that time you need water to do things for the off season. Come on, with your crowd there, that hold on, said it's a failed state. Failed in the sense that no man can think it be a young penny force and qualos about dream having a domato and no jai omon kwa no. And I keep asking this question. Will be our private jobs. I don't know more private jobs in the end. Because when him say about Juman and you know Papa Smiley the topic, but once I can him say greed divided by unaccountability, they are always wanted to have marginal corruption in their lives. Tina Obu why didn't be see why a cry to declare what set the share in oh kwani ebu so yeah for Cratchit Bobby from Casa. I rehearse me cry a see and the classes. Oh, try the same for near silly. Oh, quite Sanya Busso had the other buyer. Yansa for. Yansa for. And we are Timna de be a deal much. Which say, are we going to succeed as a nation? Mammy, I've been away home. Found out transit now, doing no maybe who are gone as Semna and shall go. Yes, sad. Yes, sad. They know the right thing. Unless about kind was it. Yet the doctor Frimpong by. These are the people who are well trained in Abrochiri. Ni tend to be ya there now. They be in a free hall. Chumo ya there na ya. Yes, just said you obi banners and a party and not the end there. And yes, sir. Yeah, by your sounds to me no me at Abrochiri. So are we moving on as a nation? If we really love Ghana, let's face the facts and tell them as it is. Because omunya there ya. Yeah, I can't name and shame. Ubaye uye ni yanke ebodi. Ya na of Albert to super kind. Mami can't Albert. And yet 60s, 40s, 65, 70s for the say chrono. So person who more say chrono. Rollins be cool. Eddie careful beto Ghana. And my name therefore entrepreneurs. Watching my stress out, Siamo. The Geo companies who munina SKM and Mumutani cotton gege ban for giant crops here. And in the Ghana to Sampa, that was the fall down of Ghana. And next our party in Muna NDC Friaba. So please, we need to because nobody wants to learn history. I just say I can't come and Kruma said, "Oh, you can't come and Kruma said your belly and it's almost better. A champ of better. They did very well. It's Albert. Who's with the no? You might not accept it, and you offer chum and you mean a big Ghana. I Rollins and a big Ghana. Rollins, so man, or buy no beton no man in a CZ, Ghana was self-sufficient. Baby, as an year on the Adwajiri 40 Manson, 31st Development Women's Movement. Please, we'll learn more history. And yes, you're buying a Becca Kwame Nkrumah obey I'm aiding in a champ, I'm aiding in a Rollins to be with Debbie. I'm coming say Nadia or the Jaya, me penny say, or your interstate law protect the family first. Nanka, Titru Akwantufuo. na busuafo abeji na japade nyina. I praise him for that. And I'm Mr. Catcher say Rollins said, oh yeah, many Jim say he could have choose to be Kenya. Then I know Uganda for president for Rollins in Kadombia okay made Ghana for so but we are bold. He gave us a democracy. Dear Yen Mumien can you find 2 years because Ghana first. Yeah, assassinate. Yeah, so beduru if you are retire now they were brocha and everyone said yes. Yeah, the ICCSC Ghana and Nanka person them. They should do it better. That is all we are crying. That's it. Moving Kasa.
Open Bible quotation. What's a Bible quotation? Will be a one in the bush as well. Them. But my repeat, Mamma, when I'm in tears. What's the way then? Of Atimenka.
Kwabra to Kampa unim.
What's the boss then?
Being
But
far reference
the back cast them that. And I'm like, oh, boss, and
a fire homework. Kobusa elder. Fire homework. Homework. Mean can't.
I mean, you swear. I mean, call ambassador. Now, we are, what shall me boss? What was I see? Be a missing Nancy. So,
that's you and that's printers.
But my men come out of me. My men come out of me. One year, and I mean, call me for fraud. Oh, my men call me Papa fraud. It is abortion when you so, and the Bible quotation, applied to abortion. Dr. Ambassador, but your team can. There be one to me, we have friend once and I'll be bum. And yes, I am friend. I said, would you take that time happiness over me? Your friend, no bum. I do swan, I say, Upeso bum. Of a watch, of a friend is a Tribu Akudia. Of a Tribu.
Remember, man, I said,
Bremona, Atama on the inchi.
Michiobia, Niedikan, maybe say, a dang Nema Rollins by. Na BBNC, and Nema Rollins by. Second, Cabra, baby, Anna, Ufusum cancer, no ye, Jumano, and no ye. He no establishes Napino. I no establish it. And I no see Kufuado no bay, and I no see MPP for project Anna. Manuel see Pedasi.
Oh, there will be Busa, some you,
Yes, somehow kind of would begin how Ubeka Malik Basin Taylor, some say, when I'm more established, nothing will be soon. You will be so ye any the end of the wonka, and I know the ref, and I know I don't count.
and the media no amount. Now, what can
Jaisa partially, you know, way and yefe.
oh, Zamum. And I'm facing a job at by an hour. The passion one can. Only the hypocrisy and dishonesty or Ghana woman. What have my men called the Papa for now? Yeah, no, my banter.
Make a mass of and you'll be.
I'll be the now can be the. Oh, yet, why? Abby, answer me by own mental uncle. You have patron. For 5 for an uncle. And to be our happy, my this will be a cow. And it's in the Abbey.
I've spoken already.
So be about happy, I'm at you. Yeah, can I say of a human manners as well? Of a human
Before so come, can I me buy sign
so where of any American somebody now would have been Bumtiana vessel now, Casa.
Oh, dear Tiana say, me cut the beer. If it's Sakabun, some yes, 1 year, what a crab no year gun a year, the bomb in some mano. Not the power for 34 years, MPP and DC, they are year or mine. I won't say. And yet, and one who goes one and you pass a bit in front of waste MPP, I say, what come in our bomb swap? And the diabetes baby, there is no progress. On account of BBA, to about your body pet to your police station. Why? And Kola, woman, a Ghana future, you are dear. You compared to my yard. Near for 21,000 elwak near BNL Kikiki, a Musian near Tiffy, almost near Quay. What it will be near Yansa class, your best share. 21,000 and then it be 100 Tuesday kaka I common sense. And I mean who be said that. Why? So and I say me ready who am it here.